Good morning, people. I've been a bad person. It's Tuesday afternoon. I've just finished my lunch. I've drilled all the holes in the plate and I have fitted it. I have had it fitted, but there is a slight problem. The shaft wasn't perfectly aligned in the centre, and these were catching on the gear because the threads are a lot smaller than the pipe. So what I've decided to do is I've turned up some, oh, that one's come off. I've turned up some aluminium bushes on the Covmac, and they now align beautifully on there like that. They don't drop and they don't catch on the gear. So that's that sorted. I have another 2 sets to make, and then I'm going to reassemble it all, put the front plate on, and then put the clock gauge on a magnetic base on the front plate. I've tried it sitting on here, but of course the engine's rubber mounted, so it moves, so you can't really do that. So I'm going to put the clock gauge onto the front plate here, and then put the finger of the clock gauge on there, and I'm going to mess about with this until I get it aligned properly. It's not very much out, it's possibly about maybe as much as 10 or 15 thou run out, but it's too much run out to leave by any stretch of the imagination. So that's what I'm going to do next. I have been using, to make the bushes, I have been using the Covmac, and what a pleasure it is to use this. Is the first time I've really used it in anger, and what I might do is I'll get it going. As you can see, there's plenty of swarf because I've been making them out of some old scrap aluminium test pieces from Brough, British Aerospace, the old British Aerospace that used to be at Brough, that's now closed as far as I know. But I had a very good friend who is no longer with us who used to work there, and used to bring me sweepings up, and some of the sweepings up he brought me with these, which are aluminium test pieces. They're aluminium samples which have been put in a testing machine and stretched till they snapped. And he brought me, as you can see in that box, quite a lot. So I'll set up to turn the next ones down, and I'll bring you back and I'll just show you doing a bit of that. This all happened because yesterday my cousin arrived and said, let's go and finish the poo run now that my car's fixed, and also we'll take all your rubbish off the yard. So all my bags of rubbish have gone, all my junk off the yard has gone. I'm clear again, which is a good feeling. So we've done that, but it took the rest of the day, and he arrived just as I was about to shoot a bit of film, so it didn't get done. And when I came to it this morning, when I was going to shoot a piece of film showing you the run out on the shaft, I went to the camera and both the batteries were flat. So I've just had them on charge and I've got this battery back on the camera and we're away again. So I'll set up the Covmac and I'll bring you back. Bye for now. Right people, here we go, the Covmac. Place hand on bar. And stop. So what we've also got is a very nice system on the apron with which we can get the feed going forward and reverse without stopping the machine. So we need to put the screw cutting and feeds box into gear, which means there's an increase in noise. And then, you've all seen this before, I don't know what, but here we go. Touch off. Set the foot on, then down. very nice thing to you. And there we go, people. So I'm very pleased with this lathe. It needs the headstock oil changing because as it warms up it starts to run faster and quieter, and looking at the oil that's in there, it's like glue. So it's obviously, it's probably been in there for 40 years. So I'm going to get it warmed up and drain this oil out and put some straight 30 hydraulic oil in it, which is what most headstocks run on. But there's no information on this lathe. There's no such thing, as far as I can tell, there's no such thing as a manual or any instructions out there. They seem to be very rare. We have found several of them all over the country. There's a bigger model than this as well, and there's at least 2 of the larger one. I think this is the 13-inch geared head, and there's also a 17-inch geared head, which is a bigger lathe, longer bed, bigger machine altogether. But what a beast. I'm very pleased with it. Right, I'm going to carry on with this. This is the 3rd pair of bushes I'm drilling, I'm making, and then I'll put it all back together. I'll get the clock gauge set up, and I'll bring you back for a look. Bye for now. Oh dear, what's that doing on the floor? We've had a minor disaster. Somebody couldn't resist tinkering and saw these little 2 screws here which say oil on them, and so I took it out and put a drop of oil in and put it back, and then I took that one out and put a drop of oil in it and put it back, only it screwed straight through, and it's now jamming the cross slide, so I'm going to have to pull it to pieces to get it out. Some days it just ain't worth getting up, is it? Right, I'm going to crack on with this, and when I've done it I'll bring you back. I don't believe this. Bye for now. And there it is. Luckily it freed off. I was able to wind the cross slide across and take this plate off, get a dangling magnet into there, but it had already gone. And when I felt the inside of the saddle, inside of the apron should I say, underneath here, when I put my hand around there, I just pulled it out. So we can now put it back together. But every day's a school day, and I've learned something. If it ain't busted, don't fix it. Right, but look, there's another one there. Little oil oil, of course that one's safe, and that one's safe. What are you doing there? But that one isn't safe. I can't even really, I suppose it oils the gear, doesn't it? It's oil onto, direct oil onto the gear. Right, I shall oil it up and put it back together, and consider myself have been taught a salutary lesson. Bye for now. Right peeps, there we are set up. Now we've got quite an error on this. It's about 55 thou eccentric. So we need to, I know what's causing it. Right, that pulley locates on 4 bolts on that plate, and it has a spacer behind it, and I have a feeling the spacer is not perfectly flat or the whole thing wants stripping down and reassembling. But of course, with it being on 4 bolts, I've got 4 different positions that I can try it at. Now I know the shaft's concentric because the shaft was turned between centres, so I know there's no problem with that. So what we've got is a misalignment somewhere in the plate and the pulley. The shaft is reduced at the other end and it fits straight into the hole in the centre of the crankshaft where the crankshaft centre bush used to be. So I've taken the crankshaft centre bush out to increase the diameter, and that shaft now fits into there and should be perfectly concentric. So if it's not, I have a feeling that that plate and the pulley is pulling it out of line. But that is a simple fitting job, just a matter of stripping it down, possibly a bit of turning on the back of the pulley to make it flat, or a bit of turning on the spacer to make it flat, and then reassembling. Of course we've got 4 different positions we can assemble it in, so there we go. So I'm not, it's annoying, it's a pain in the backside, but I'm not particularly worried that it can't be done. So there you go. So it's been a day of ups and downs. It's about 4:30 now, it's pouring with rain again as usual, and I'm just about to pack up and go home because I've come to this natural impasse where I'm going to have to strip everything down and start reassembling. So first of all I want to strip it down and probably put it in that's a good idea actually. I can strip it down, I can put the shaft in the chuck, and I can check the plate and the pulley for concentricity, which would probably reveal the problem. So that'll be first job tomorrow. Take it all out, put the shaft in the pulley, put the shaft and the pulley in the lathe and spin it up and see what we've got. Right peeps, that's it for today. I'm going to wend my weary way home through the rain. Catch you all tomorrow. Bye now. Good afternoon people. It's Friday, 1:30, and as you may notice, I'm not at the workshop. There is a very good reason for this. On Monday I did a COVID-19 test, and on Wednesday the results came back positive. So now I am under 7-day lockdown for something which I'm pretty sure I've had for most of this year. But there you go. So I just thought I'd record a little rounding up, he said, touching his face, rounding up video for the week, and tell you that the video next week will be something that I'll have to think up from home for the first few days until I can go back, probably next Wednesday, and get a bit more done. But the tractor's progressing apace, apart from the fact that I've found that there's a wobble on the shaft basically, and I think what it is that the pulley, the back of the pulley which bolts up to the plate, which bolts up in place of the clutch, is actually not flat, and I'm going to have to I've got the whole thing stripped off. I'm going to put it in the lathe and line it up in the lathe, check it all and face off any errors until I get the whole thing running straight. So that shouldn't be a problem. It's annoying and it's a nuisance because it's extra work which I didn't think I'd have to do, but it's not a problem, it can be lined up. So first thing I've got to show you today is a recent purchase. I don't know if you can you see this? Let's slide it around until you can see it. Let's angle the camera down a bit. There we are. Isn't that nice? This is a Rayborn Chesterman 12-inch machinist level. You may think, that looks clean, it looks like it's almost never been used. And the truth is I don't think it has. It was advertised as brand new in box, new old stock, and I can well believe that if it's been used once or twice, that's as much, because the paintwork's immaculate, everything about it's immaculate. The the plating is absolutely beautiful on it. So now I've got the test bar, I can set the lathe up properly. Just a minute people, I've got a warning here. What's this say? Oh right, it's just low battery for the phone. I'm not bothered about that. I'll carry on. So there you go. This is going to be very useful in setting the coal chesters. Now I've shown you earlier that I was using the Kovmak in anger for the first time, making some bushes for those tubes, and it went really well, and it's a really lovely lathe to use. I'm really very pleased with that, the way you can shift the traverse from forward to reverse towards the chuck, then to away from the chuck without stopping the lathe, which is very useful, because it means, as long as you don't mind breaking the engineer's rule and cutting on the back edge of your tool, that you can go across a part with one cut, set another cut, and then come back. So in effect, every movement you're taking a cut off, so it just halves the time. It actually did that job very quickly. To say that that is a machine from the 1940s, it can't be any later than that, because it's got war finish tab on it. So there you go. Anyway, there it is. A lovely, lovely spirit level, which I shall now carefully put back in its box. There literally isn't a mark on it, but I'm sure I'll soon change that. Right, and the second thing I've got to show you, I shall just slide in. You just cancel this. There we are. I shall just slide this. Shall I slide this in? No, I won't slide this in. I'll take you to it. I'll take you very carefully to it. Now this, remove piece of paper, is a Bang & Olufsen Beogram record deck, which is out of my stereo system, and they suffered from a regular, very common problem, which was the bearings in the motor, which are sintered phosphor bronze bushes, which are like an oilite bush, or what's the other name for them? There's a trade name for them, isn't there? Basically, it's a sintered porous bush which is loaded with oil under pressure, and as the shaft warms up, the oil melts and oozes out. Well, this one, like a lot of Beograms, after a lot of years, the oil starts to polymerise and gets sticky, and it oozes out of the bearing and seizes the motor up, with the result that the motors will not run up to speed, and they run very slowly and very sluggishly. And I've stripped it twice before and cleaned it and re-lubricated it, but I've come to the conclusion that that doesn't provide a permanent fix. So what I've done this time is I've taken the bronze bearing out completely. You can see that the bronze bearing goes in here, and that's the holder for the bronze bearing there. This is the motor. Now you can see that the bottom bearing of the motor is perfect. The top bearing in here was seized up once again, and this time I've stripped the bush out. I've soaked the bush in alcohol overnight. I've heated it up with a cigarette lighter until the oil literally boiled out of it, and the oil that boiled out of it was like black tar. It was horrid. Then boiled it in detergent and water, and then gone back to the pure alcohol and cleaned it in that again, and then heated it again until nothing more came out of it, and then I've polished it all up, and it's now in that little black pot down there, soaking in oil. So I'm going to put this back together, and I hope that this time I get a result, because my wife and my two daughters want to play my record collection, and their record collections for that matter. Well, the daughters haven't got any. So, apparently they don't want to play my record collection, they want to play their record collection. So there you go. So
they're not a fan of Elton John.
neither have I just collected them because they were a set. Right, so there you go, people. So that's a short video. I might add to this later on. It might go out like this, who knows. But thanks for watching, thanks for clicking the like button. If you like what you see, please subscribe. As you may have noticed, although I've tested positive, I'm not ill. I'm no different to what I was a week ago or a month ago. I've still got the slight annoying cough, which the more I talk, the more I cough. There you go. But other than that, I'm perfectly fine. So don't worry about me. I'll survive. Okay, catch you all later. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.